My name is Maria. My husband and I always watch your show, and I saw you on the tram when I was driving past, so I had to get off and tell you.
Oh, really? You got off the tram specially?
I did. I really love your show.
Do you?
It's
Why?
really interesting.
Why? What do you like? Tell us about it. What do you like about it?
It's just really good because you get to know people that otherwise you wouldn't have heard their story. Like, they tell things that otherwise you would have never known just walking past them on the street. And everybody's got a story.
They do.
tell.
What's your accent?
I'm Danish.
You're Danish, but you live here?
Yeah, I live with my husband just down the street.
Did you come here with your husband?
Sort of. We met in America and he went back here and I went back to Denmark and then I came down to live with him.
What were you doing in America? Just travelling?
I was a nanny for a year.
A nanny?
Yeah.
Tell us about that. It's always an interesting, it's almost like being part of a family but not quite, isn't it?
Yeah, it was sort of promoted as we were going to be part of a family and it's going to be really great and a good experience, and once you get there you're more an employee than a...
Yes. What sort of family was it?
It was a Jewish single mum with a handicapped girl and a teenage daughter.
Mm-hmm. Whereabouts? What part of America?
In Connecticut.
They matched you up with this single mum?
Yep.
How old was she?
The mum was in her 40s, but I was looking after her daughter. She was 13.
And she was disabled, you said?
Yep, she had cerebral palsy.
Right. And so your role was really to look after the daughter while the mother worked?
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
And that a year you spent with her?
Yep.
What was it like?
It was interesting, like you get to live with a family that have a totally different set of roles than what I was used to.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that at that stage of my life, I thought that all families would be working the way my family did at home, and just a bit of a shock saying that
Didn't?
they didn't. No.
How was it different?
I found that the mum didn't care as much for her children as I thought the mum did. She had a lot
Really?
of other interests, and she was willing to let me look after her child. Well, I didn't think that that was sort of appropriate in a way.
She was distracted by the other things.
She wasn't sort of distracted, but she had a lot of things on her mind. She had to work really hard to support her family, and
Did she pay you?
yeah, she did.
So she had to work to pay you as well as...
She looked, yeah.
Yes. And what was the little girl like?
She was gorgeous.
Yeah?
Yeah, I really miss her. She was 13, but she was only developed as a newborn baby.
So she was very childish, very
Yeah.
immature?
Didn't have a language at all.
And did it teach you anything? Did that experience give you anything?
I always liked working with handicapped people, and it just gave me another dimension.
How long have you been here now?
3 years.
And what were you doing? Have you been are you a student nurse for 3 years now?
Halfway through the course, I've been doing it for a year and a half.
Yeah. And do you have a special interest in what you want to do?
Not yet. No, I haven't seen enough things to sort of decide.
And what is your husband's name?
His name is Nick.
Nick.
Yeah.
What does he do?
He's a police officer.
A police officer?
Yeah.
What does he do in the police force? Is he
He's just at a general station.
what, a senior constable?
Yep.
Yeah. And does he want to go further? Does he want to progress?
I think he would like to, but I don't think there's any opportunities for him.
Really?
It's too hard these days.
Why is that? Why is it too hard?
I think people stay in their senior positions and younger people because there's so many more. You got to really be in the right spot at the right time to get any further.
How did you meet?
On a holiday with there's a company who set up tours where they organise the whole tour for you. You only just book a seat and a bus, and they take you around to cities and parks. They have different tours you can choose from. And we just ended up on the same trip.
On the same bus?
Yep.
And you found that you were going the same way?
Yep, exactly.
Tell us a bit about him. What's Nick like? Is he a typical cop, if there's such a thing?
I don't know, actually. I don't sort of see his working personality.
Don't you?
No.
So what do you see?
A really gorgeous guy. He's really funny and really cute, and
Yeah?
I think the fact that we make each other laugh means a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How do you make him laugh?
I don't know. I think just my personality. He appreciates the way I react to things, and because we're from two different cultures, that makes it funny sometimes.
Yes, yes. You were saying before how different it was when you went to America. What was your family like? How was it different?
My family at home, maybe just the fact that it was a mum and a dad. Like, they both had time. They were both working, but when they were home, they had time for me and my sister.
Just one sister?
Yep, just one.
And so it was a happy, harmonious family?
I think so, yeah. Most of the time. There's always problems, but most of the time it was really good, yeah.
And when you met Nick, did you tell your parents?
Not straight away, no. It was too scary.
Was it?
Yeah.
How long before you told them that it was something special?
Well, a year after we met, I decided to move down here for a year and see how everything
Just
went.
test the water?
Yeah. See what was going to happen, because we hadn't known each other for that long. And when I'm in Europe and he's down here, it makes it really hard to sort of get to know each other really well. So I'm going to give it a go.
Did you find anything out about him then that you didn't know before?
While I was home or when I came?
When you came here?
He's stubborn. That's what I found out. It's hard to be stubborn in lettuce on the phone. Yeah, just little things like that, everyday things that you would find out about everybody. Yeah.
Well, it was nice to meet you. Where are you going now? Where were you going on the tram when you got off to say hello?
I was going home. And we're forever saying, oh, if we see this guy down the street, we've got to talk to him.
But Nick isn't here.
No, he would kill me if I didn't stop.
Going somewhere. Will you talk to us for a second? My name's Andrew.
Hi Andrew, how are you?
What's your name?
My name's Jason.
Jason from?
From Boston, Massachusetts, straight from the States.
Straight from the States?
Straight from the States.
What are you doing in Australia?
Going to the uni, going to school here.
Yeah?
Yeah, going to RMIT. Going to be here for a semester or two.
Why?
Studying finance. Hopefully be a stockbroker someday or something like that. We'll see what happens.
I meant why in Australia?
Why in Australia? Change of pace, something different from Boston. Chance to get away. If I'm going to go away someplace, you can't go wrong going to Australia, that's for sure.
In the short time that you've been here, though, can you pass judgment? Was it the right decision for you?
It was definitely the right decision. I love Australia. I don't want to leave. That's why I said in the beginning I'm going to stay for a semester or possibly a second one, because I've only been here a month. And I'm thinking about staying here for 2 because I love it. The people here are friendly. Much friendlier than Boston. Boston, you always have to watch your back and stuff like that. People here, you meet Aussies, and they go out of their way for you. They're always trying to help out. And Australian hospitality really can't be beat.
What's your background? What sort of family do you come from?
I come from a family out in a suburb from Boston. It's I have a lot of. I'm the only child. I'm an only child. My parents do a lot of foster care. I have an adopted brother and sister, so my family is a lot of like helping out other people too. So which is a good thing. And
do you know why they do that?
Probably just to help out. They had me, and they figured they don't want another troublemaker, so maybe try to get into some other kids that maybe won't be as much trouble.
Were you some trouble?
I'm sure I was when I was a little kid, but no, my parents had me. Then they decided, they already had their own kid. They'd like to, help out some other unfortunate kids.
And these other, well, what do you call them? Siblings?
I call them brother and sister. To me, they're my brother and sister.
How long have they been living with you?
Since I was probably about 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah?
So, they came when they were babies.
Yes.
So as far as I'm concerned, they're my brother and sister, there is no difference. They're blood to me,
Yeah. And presumably they know that they're not.
Well, yeah, they know that they're not. We don't keep anything from them. We let them know, and then we let them know what their situation was before they came. And, we're open with them, and they understand, and they're fortunate, to have a family to go to. And after my parents had adopted them too, now we do foster care where kids come in and will live with us for a certain amount of time before the situations back at home are good enough for them to go back and live, a safe life or a happy life.
Do you get involved with those foster care children?
It's tough sometimes because, they come and go a lot.
Yes.
And sometimes they'll stay for up to a year or so forth, and you get attached to them, you get attached to them. To me, when they're living in my house and I see them every day, they're just like a brother and sister. And then when they finally have to go, a lot of them keep in touch. Actually, all of them keep in touch. It's tough sometimes. It's definitely tough sometimes.
But do they come to you because they've got a problem at home?
What happens is the Department of Social Services pulls them from their homes because the situation's bad. The dad's abusing them, or there's drugs, there's alcohol, or there's some kind of problem. And then they pull the kids and they put them in a foster home like what my parents have, like my home. And then as soon as their situation at home, like the alcoholism's over, the father that was beating the kid leaves and so forth, as soon as that's cleared up, they go to therapy, everything's done, the kids go back. So it's kind of like doing a favor for the family rather than having them go up for adoption and losing their kid altogether.
But these children would come from very different environments, wouldn't they, to yours?
Yeah, definitely.
In terms of their family and perhaps even culturally and ethnically.
Yep. They all come from different backgrounds. A lot of them live in the lower classes, and that's why a lot of their family, have alcohol problems and drug problems. I'm sure my brother and sister, when they were born, I'm sure that, they didn't come from a rich family and they were just left on the doorstep. I'm sure there were problems behind everything as to why they were left on a doorstep, and it's the same thing with these kids that come into the house.
I'm just wondering, though, how would they deal with that change in their environment? being in a
tough.
family, and yet it's not familiar to them.
It's tough for them. I mean, you got to kind of cope with them. A lot of them. I mean, I remember having one kid come into the house one time who with a family that she was with, her biological family had starved her, never fed her enough. So when she came to our house, since that's what she was used to, she'd take food from the kitchen and hide it in her dresser, thinking that we were going to be doing the same type of thing and not feeding her. So one day my mom was out helping her clean her room, and she found this pile of food, and that's when we realized, that she was starved before, and that's why she was acting so weird and always quiet and stuff like that. So I mean, you see a lot of problems.
And was she able to accept that wasn't going to happen to her?
I mean, it took some time. I mean, you don't just go from a place where you're starved,
Yeah.
To a place where you're going to feel completely comfortable. That
Yeah.
just doesn't happen, especially when you're like a little 6-year-old girl.
Right.
You don't just jump into a house and think everything's going to be different.
Especially
because you're
6.
growing up to think
Yeah.
that that's the way you're going to live. So that's what you expect when you go to another home, I suppose.
Yeah. And did that turn out okay? Did she?
Yeah, she ended up going back. She's doing well now.
Yeah.
She's doing well now. We have a lot of situations like that. But
To what extent did that give? That must have also had an impact on you. I mean, to see.
it has an impact on me because I know,
It's a very broad experience.
I kind of like to see myself as kind of like a well-rounded person. I know what it's like. I see what they go through, and just to be able to see what they go through and understand what they go through in their lives and what they've been through in the past, I recognize it, and I understand what happens in the world, and I'm not just kind of in this middle-class society where everything else below me is just kind of ignored because it's not, because I've seen the problems in my own home. And, I'd like to do the same thing when I'm older. I mean, I like to have my own kid, and then after that, help out unfortunate kids. It's a good thing to do. It makes you feel good, too. I mean, I feel good that my parents do it.
Yes.
And I respect them for doing it,
Yeah.
for all the stress they have to go through with
Let me ask
doing
you a difficult question.
Okay.
Do you think they do it for themselves?
I think they do it for the kids. I mean, I think they do it for self-satisfaction because, like I said, it makes me feel good that I know my parents do it. I'm sure it makes them feel good that they're helping out kids, and at the same time, they know that they're helping out.
At the same
So
time. Yeah.
I'm sure it's self-satisfaction, but it's also, they wouldn't do it if there weren't kids that had problems.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I suppose so.
When you came to Australia, it's a long way. You knew it was a long way, right?
Yep.
Did you leave?
27-hour flight. A real long flight. Real long way.
Did you leave a special friend, a girlfriend behind?
Actually, she's here with me now.
She didn't leave her behind.
Well, I left her behind for a little while, but she chased me out here.
Did you know she was going to come?
Yeah, I knew she was going to come. We had planned it a long time ago. She flew up from Alaska, all the way from Alaska.
Why was she in Alaska?
That's where she lives. That's her home.
If she lives in Alaska and you live in Boston,
Yep.
There's a big piece of map between the two.
We go to school together in Boston. We go to college together in Boston. And that's what like I said, I'm studying abroad for a semester from my college in Boston. So that's how we met, is going to school in Boston. But her hometown is Alaska.
I see. So how long have you known each other? Or how long have you been going out together?
Probably about like 6 months or so. Not even that long.
Not even that long, and she's
Not even
still
that
out
long.
here.
Yeah, she's still out here.
She wasn't going to let you out of her
No,
sight, was she?
she's not letting me go. Yeah.
Tell us a little, what's her name?
My name's Jason.
No, her name.
Oh, her name's Jenny.
Jenny.
Yep.
Jenny and Jason.
Jenny Jason. 2 J's.
Tell me a bit about Jenny.
Well, what's there to say? She's from Alaska.
What is she studying?
She's a finance major. Right. I think we both want to be stockbrokers, probably work on Wall Street and stuff like that. We have a lot in common.
Is that possible to both of you be stockbrokers on Wall Street and working?
I don't know. It could be a good
Same
team.
thing.
I don't know. It could make a killing. Hopefully. Hopefully. I don't know.
What's the ambition? What is driving you to do this? Is it to succeed, to make money, to be?
I don't need to be rich. I just want to be happy. And I've always enjoyed. It's kind of strange when you see someone looking at the stock pages as a kid, but that's what I was into. I liked it.
Were you?
I liked it. I mean, I like following the stocks and stuff like that.
Toddler investor.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I made a lot of my money to come here, was invest in stocks.
Did you?
Yeah.
So you're already putting into practice what you learned.
Yeah.
And what is your ambition? Are
My
you
ambition
ambitious? You
is-
said to be happy, but
My
everybody wants
ambition
be
is to
happy.
have a small house in the country with the white picket fence and the dog running around and my 9-to-5 job and be able to go where I want to go when I want to leave. If I want to travel, be able to travel. But as far as having like a huge mansion and have limos and all that, I don't want it.
What about Wall Street and the kings of the universe?
Wall Street's crazy. I
Yeah.
can't wait to check it out. I can't wait.
You haven't been yet?
I haven't been to actual Wall Street. I've been to New York, but Wall Street, I haven't been there yet. But I know that's where I want to work. I know that's where I want to work.
You want to work there and you want to succeed there.
And I want to, of course I do. Definitely.
You want to be noticed?
I'd like to be noticed, yeah.
Yeah. Good morning. I mean, no, good afternoon. I always get my time wrong.
2:15.
2:15.
What can I do for you?
10 past. Oh, you're right. 2:15.
2:15.
We're making a series of documentaries for SBS. Meet people around Australia, you know, just get to meet them a little bit, say hello, what do they do,
Hello.
what are they doing here, where they're from.
Okay, I go to the bank.
You're going to the bank.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Where are you from?
You tell me.
I have to hear you speak more. Can you say hello?
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
How are you? Okay.
You work in SBS, so you should find out.
Yes, I should, shouldn't I? But that's a very complicated accent you have.
No.
No?
No.
I give up.
Don't give up so quickly.
All right. Can I ask you your first
Yeah,
name?
sure. Irena.
Hungary.
No.
Just a wild guess, you see.
No.
From
Irena.
there? Eastern Europe.
Yeah, very close.
North of Hungary?
No. No.
South.
No. No. Russia.
Russia.
Yeah.
I should have guessed, but I didn't.
That's okay.
Can I ask what you do?
What? I'm working in my own business. Okay, and I run a coffee shop. Cakes, coffee, beverages.
Russian
juices.
cakes?
No, actually, no.
No?
Australian.
Australian cakes?
Muffins, American, donuts,
Yeah?
Danishes,
Yeah.
maybe Russian piroshki very
Yes?
soon.
Yeah? Yeah?
So,
Have you had it for long?
no, actually, I opened just recently, 2 months ago.
Oh, so it's a new
Yeah,
business.
New business.
Have you done anything like this before?
Yes, I was on my own business before.
Yeah.
Different businesses all the
But
time.
a different business?
Yeah.
You like change?
Yeah, from dancing to drafting
Yeah?
and to my own business.
You've done dancing?
Yeah.
What sort of dancing?
I used to be a professional dancer back home
Yeah?
in Russia. Yeah, character dance, and
Yeah.
I used to teach here in dance double bass studio and dance in senior dance company.
Whereabouts in Russia?
Odessa, on the Black Sea.
Yes. And how long ago did you leave?
A long time ago,
Long time
but I still keep my accent.
Yeah.
It's my trademark.
It's your trademark.
From Odessa and the Black Sea,
Yes.
Ukraine.
Yes.
Okay.
Did you come here with a family? Do you have family?
Yeah, I do have a family. I've got 2 beautiful children. So, and my daughter just passing exam for year 12.
Right. Is
So-
your husband Russian?
Yes. Yeah.
Also from
Same place.
from
Yeah.
the same place?
Yeah.
You met there? Did you meet over there?
Yes.
Yeah. So when you came here, you were already
Together.
Together,
Yeah,
yes.
with the 3 of us, a little baby,
Uh-huh.
and that was 1974,
And what is your
last century.
last century? I know how you feel. What are your children's names?
Son Kirill, and he works for Colonial State Bank, and he's probably taller than you now.
Yeah.
And my daughter Sarah.
Kirill is
So-
the Russian name.
Yeah.
Charles.
Very, very Russian.
It's
right?
like Charles, isn't it?
Yeah, probably
Yes.
yes. It's from Russian alphabet,
Yeah.
Kirillitsa.
Yeah. And what does your husband do?
Actually, my ex-husband.
Ah, right.
Very interesting, yeah.
Husband gone.
No, he's still here. He's
But
a marvelous
gone
man.
out of your
but
life. Yeah.
yes,
He's a marvelous man.
yeah, he's a very nice man.
Yeah.
So
But
What-
but he's a nice man without you.
I probably was not very good wife. I didn't cook Russian meal for him. Just joking.
So how long have you been separated, divorced?
Is it necessary for
No,
TV?
I only ask because you brought up the
around
children.
4 years.
Right, so it's
Yeah.
fairly recent.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're running
So-
your own business. And you
I'm
live-
running my own business. Yeah, I think very successful. Okay.
And in
So-
your life now, are you too busy to worry about another partner?
No, I do have another partner, and I never was worried about to
Right.
find another partner.
Yes.
And so I
Also
think
Russian?
people, if they want to find, they always find. Yeah, they
Sure.
always. Yeah,
Also
he
Russian?
is Russian.
Yes?
Yeah.
How did you meet this man?
Oh, this is secret.
Secret. Oh, good.
He's a Russian KGB.
But
So-
now that doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's right.
Is that right? And
He's a very nice man as well.
has he also been married
Yeah.
before?
Yeah.
Yeah. It happens a lot.
And this is life.
Yeah.
And see, you have to find the right person for yourself to be happy.
Excuse me, but I couldn't help noticing you've got a Kiwi Republic T-shirt.
Oh, right.
Is this a political statement?
No, I've got another T-shirt with Banana Republic on it, and
Any republic will do.
any republic as long as it's
A
country
republic.
identity.
I see.
Although banana, there is actually a country called Banana Republic.
Have you been there?
No, I haven't.
But are you going?
Probably unlikely, but it's my company does occasionally pop in that way.
Does it? Dare I ask, what does it do there?
It's a chemical company.
Where are you from? You're English?
I'm a bit of a mongrel.
Where are you from?
My mother's New Zealander. My father's a Scotsman.
And
I was born in England, but I'm living in New Zealand.
And what are you doing in Sydney?
Spending 3 months holiday with my relatives, cousins, uncles, aunts. My brother and sister live here.
Right.
And
it's a long holiday.
My folks are coming, 3 months, 3 months break.
How did you manage to get 3 months off?
I do 3 months work, 3 months holiday.
Every
time regularly, yeah.
Yeah? And that's 3 months, is it on 7 days a week, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's captive time. When I'm working 3 months, I
Yes.
can't escape.
Why is that?
They say, I think it was a 17th century Londoner said, being on ship is like being in prison, except you've got the opportunity of drowning. So I'm in the merchant marine.
Oh, I see.
Chief mate on a chemical tanker.
So you've been doing this all your life? Well,
Pretty much, yeah, since I left school.
Yes. Now,
Except for a short break in between. For 10 years I was with one shipping company, then they went bankrupt, and for 3 years I was driving a pink bus around Europe taking pop groups around the place.
Yeah.
Then after 3 years the shipping industry wanted me back because the third world country shipping people weren't as cheap as they were expected. And I've gone back to sea now and been doing that for another 13 years since I was made my first redundancy.
Why was the bus pink?
The first group I took around was called the Licorice All Sorts, and the bus had a rubber fender right down the middle of it, so it looked like a lump of licorice in between the pink candy.
I see.
And I had the name of the group on the bus, the Licorice All Sorts, a cabaret group impersonating pop stars. And after that group disbanded, I just kept the bus painted pink and carried different bands around.
So you were kind of a bus for hire for pop groups?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Pink Bus Man I eventually became known as, and the biggest band I took around was David Bowie's band. And I went
back about 15 years ago.
This was in 1987 on the Glass Spider tour. That was in London. And after I went back to sea for the second time, I gave the bus to my brother, and he turned down Fleetwood Mac.
Did he?
Because he was already booked up with another group.
Now, tell me about your family. I was going to ask you how you have a family life with this kind of routine. First of all, what does your family comprise?
I've got 3 brothers and 2 sisters, and we're spread around the world. My father spent 42 years in the Merchant Marine in the Royal Fleet Auxiliary. I've sort of followed in his footsteps a little bit.
But he was married.
Yeah.
And
he was away for 9 months.
Yes.
And he would spend 2 months at home.
Yes.
And basically there'd be another kid on the way.
Yes.
And he did that for 6 years. Or, well, not quite 6 years, but there's 6 kids,
yes.
a year and a half between our ages,
yes, right.
one after the other. But me, I've escaped. I've kept single all my life.
Obviously, it doesn't bother you that you don't have a wife and 6 children.
No, it's something where I've chosen a lifestyle and I've accepted it now.
Did you choose that when you left school? Did you make that decision as early as that you wouldn't marry and that you would live on the sea?
No, I was intending to do a sea job, but you don't think of not marrying or actually marrying. You just sort of take things as it comes along.
Yes. And it just gradually...
And girlfriends are sort of sporadic. In many respects, I've still got some good friends, but they're doing their own thing. And I imagine when the cat's away, they're playing as well. The social life is a little bit forced or restricted. You make friends and acquaintances all around the world, which is a good thing. And I do get the opportunity of visiting any country that I choose. And maybe one day I'll be settling down in my house in New Zealand on a fairly long-term basis. But there's no big plan on that one at the moment. I'm just happy travelling around.
So you've travelled all your life. I mean, that's what you've done. You've been moving.
I haven't stopped. I'm still doing it now.